The rules that I apply to painting definitely apply to sculpting. Compositional rules of space, even tone, apply as well. Tonally, I mean that the depth at which you carve into the piece, or the shallowness of a certain area, is going to dictate the amount of contrast that's created on the surface of the figure. And that either increases or decreases the dynamic or the effectiveness of a piece. At the same time, on a technical level, you have to be able to watch your proportions from every angle. Most probably, a person will be able to walk around your piece, and it has to be convincing, it has to be dynamic. It has to move the person's eye around in 3 dimensions, and that is probably the most challenging part of sculpting.
I'm Joan Sun. I'm an artist working in the medium of origami. It's magic to take a simple sheet of paper and turn it into a piece of nature. When I was in high school, my very best girlfriend taught me to fold the traditional crane, and I did it over and over. I devoted every Sunday afternoon to learning more. I love working with the beautiful papers. I pick papers that resemble nature. I pick papers that represent a whole spectrum of colors, papers that inspire me. My first professional origami job was to do the windows of Tiffany's at the Houston Galleria. It was a thrill to be in the windows I'd admired as a child. Well, a few months later, I had a dream about a butterfly trying to get into my head. It was such a beautiful butterfly, I decided I would learn to paint it. I had an origami pattern of a butterfly I loved to use, and so I figured a way to paint the paper before I folded it. It was a beautiful form. I made it into a pin and began selling it to museum shops.
I've entered the Art Car Parade for 9 years with my students, and for 9 years we've placed either first or second. Many years we get People's Choice Awards, which is a very prestigious award. When my students leave my class, they have a much higher self-esteem. They become a very special club. It's like a family, and so they have a place to belong. So they go to the parade, and you can see their faces at the parade. They're just smiling and having a blast, and they feel bigger than life, and that's what I want them to go away with.
As Demolition Day approaches, the team has its final planning meeting. Before dawn, security is tight. The area is sealed off as crews set the demolition in motion.
Okay, here comes the final check.
All systems are cleared. The time has finally come.
Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
For most of my lifetime, American women have been moving toward greater freedom, greater independence, greater achievement in their professional lives, greater opportunity to go to graduate school, to have careers, and reproductive freedom and the pill are the 2 most significant factors that have occurred in my lifetime that made all of that possible. Made all of it possible. And then when Sarah argued Roe v. Wade, and for the first time in our history, women truly had the ability to determine their own future, to seek those professional careers that they had yearned for, and actually earn money to help support their families and raise their families and take care of their children.
We went to Brooklands in the summer, just as if you know, we were going to the tennis club or the sailing club. It was the place that motoring people went to, and there was a very friendly club atmosphere. And when I see the paddock nowadays, in a flash I've gone back to when I was a child, and it was all swept and bright, and the cars were roaring, getting ready, as if they were sort of wild beasts roaring to get out, and their drivers They were like Greek gods, all in their most beautiful, spotless white overalls and helmets. But of course they didn't have any protection. They had no protection like modern racing drivers had.
In 1962, not long after the 100,000th MGA had been built, the MGB was announced to the public. With this new model, the MG had more creature comforts than before, with roll-up windows instead of detachable side screens, door locks and handles, and a heater.
We knew we were doing something new. It was a breakaway, doing a monocoque construction car with more space. And we did aim it to have that extra space so a young family could at least start in their sports car, even if they had to go to a saloon car or an estate car afterward. That was deliberate. But the car also, of course, was aimed so you could go racing, not in a great way, but in a very safe and sports car way.
Yet with its 1800cc four-cylinder engine, it was still a very potent sports car with top speed capability in excess of 100 miles per hour. The MGB brought new sales success to the British Motor Corporation. BMC exported most of its cars to North America,